Hey there guys, Toast here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to control arena games as an Affliction Warlock. Now Affliction isn't exactly in the best state at the moment with damage and survival, but that doesn't mean it's not viable, and it can definitely be really irritating for teams to play against you, especially if you can control their team properly. Now, in this particular clip I'm going to be playing WLS, which isn't the best comp at the moment, and I'm going to be playing against Feral, Hunter, Disc Priest, also known as Jungle Cleave. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get dots on spread out, and I'm going to get my portal near my shaman just so I'm going to be able to take traps. Now to control this game, I'm straight away going to start with a fear on the feral, then soulburn soul swap dots onto him as the priest dispels, so the priest's already sitting a 5-second CC. Now because my warrior and shaman call they're fine at the moment, I do sit this clone just because I want to save when I need to be controlling the game more, for when the team are in a little bit more trouble. Now I get a quick spell lock on the priest, and I'm going to dark soul onto this hunter and get full dots on him, and start getting some CC out. I go for a fear on the priest, and seeing his team's in such a bad position, I actually know he's going to trinket, and I'm already recasting a fear on him, and we're actually going to get a kill just because of that. Now with this, because I made the priest sit a full spell lock, and we've got his hunter to 40%, I already know he's going to be trinketing that fear on him, just because I know he won't be able to sit it, so I'm able to precast that fear, and then I'm actually able to get a fear while on his trinket, meaning his trinket was actually useless because he then got put into more CC straight away and wasn't able to use a single spell. Now crowd controlling people on their trinkets is actually really easy to do, especially when you have spammable fear while you can move. So all you need to think while you're casting that fear is if they're going to need to trinket that fear or their team lose. If the priest doesn't trinket that fear and you've just cast that fear into him and done nothing, it doesn't matter because that hunter's going to die anyway and you haven't really lost anything. But like in circumstances like that, that priest uses his trinket, gets crowd controlled again, his hunter dies anyway. Now I did use the spell lock on him to start with, and that let us drop him that low, because I'd also used Dark Soul and my warrior had blown his cooldowns into him. So I knew that we had enough damage to kill him, but it was also just me getting an early spell lock that gets that really early pressure and allows us to control that priest. I'm going to play that game with Skype so you can hear our communication through it.
We just killed the hunter.
By the way. Yeah, okay.
It's feral. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just stay in front so I don't get knocked. He's opening here. I'm pound. He's gonna go
my
for
port on this pillar. I'm gonna fear feral.
Nice, that's it.
Priest spelled UA. I'm cloned. I'm gonna set.
I'm gonna get
Scared.
I can't eat. I can't eat. I lock priest on cast. I'm dark souling here. Coiling hunter.
I can get a double shockwave here.
Fearing priest.
This is nice.
Feared priest trinket.
He's
Nice.
dead.
Now this next game is going to focus a lot more on positioning and controlling their entire team rather than just one player. So it's going to be against a similar comp, but this time it's going to be with a Resto Shaman. So he has Prowl from Symbiosis, and he also has Tremor Totem to break fear. Now I'm going to get that gateway just on top, so we have that if we need it. And I'm actually able to get a Rain of Fire out and land it on the Shaman. Now, with that they kind of have to open on us just because we can go on their shaman otherwise. And you'll see we pull away to start with, and I'm just going to get dots rolling. I then get a howl on the feral and put him in a really bad spot and cover it with UA so the shaman can't really afford to dispel it, and our warrior eats a trap. Now straight away I've shut down their opener, and they've actually blown Stampede already as well, and the shaman is just free casting at the moment. I then put a fear onto him just to get his Tremor Totem, and I do try to fear again just to try and get it if he dismissed his tremor, but he didn't actually do that, so that was kind of wasted. I did then put a spell lock onto him however, so we've got a lot of pressure right now, and I put a fear onto their feral just while the shaman's on DR, forcing the feral's trinket and then putting him into a bad spot with a re-fear. Now with this I've made it so we can swap to the feral, and I'm going to then turn the fears onto the hunter just while the shaman's still on DR, and then as soon as he's not, I put him in a full fear, I get his trinket, and then I howl him half. This gets us a lot of pressure on the feral, and then the hunter's pushed in so we can go straight back on him, and this team really can't get much pressure at the moment just because someone's constantly in fear and everyone's dropping a little bit to my dots, including the hunter pet. Now I do get a full spell lock on the shaman now while my fear's on DR, and he'll have Tremor Totem coming back up now, so our shaman pushes in for a hex on him, and I fear the feral to stop his dispel. Now this puts the feral into a bad spot again, and we're able to swap to him while the hunter was in deter. Now I don't really have any CC for the shaman at the moment, so I just get a drain soul onto the feral and drop him while the shaman has to get back into range. I'm going to try to go for a spirit link by the looks of it, but isn't able to get there in time. Now I'm going to play that game with Skype so you can hear our communication through that game and how we know that who's going to be controlled and when. Are we going Hunter a lot, yeah?
Yeah. He played Beast Cleave last season.
Getting
Oh,
Gateway.
I didn't actually take Storm.
Got Gateway.
I got Root. That's actually quite nice.
I got Shaman now.
Oh. Here he is. I'll just let him. You can just open. But Farrell's here, watch out.
I'm gonna howl Farrell.
Second shot.
Farrell's fading into like a really bad spot right now.
Scared.
Yeah, got it.
Nice.
Stampede.
I'm Shockwave here. He's in a bit of trouble.
Shaman.
He's in a shitload of trouble. Tremor.
Feared his Tremor. Just block Shaman on cast.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
fear
Dark
these?
Soul.
Yeah.
No, I've got dots, it's fine.
I'm fear Shaman's just coming.
Second.
DR Fear, it's DR Fear. Fear Druid full. Druid Trinket, fearing Druid again. Do you wanna go Druid?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go Druid.
Fearing Hunter. Fearing Shaman.
I'm gonna clone.
Shaman's in full fear. Shaman Trinket. Howling him half.
I'm going back Hunter because he's coming in. Bro.
Scared.
Got it.
Are we okay?
Yeah. Have you got anything
Block
for
Shaman on
thingy?
cast.
Okay, let's go crazy. I'm popping everything on him.
Okay. I'm gonna fear Feral.
Yeah. He's gonna probably
Come on,
knock
full
off
hex.
here.
Nice hex. Fear Feral on that as well, no spell.
Let's go Feral. Trust me, go
Yeah,
Feral. He's in Africa and I got CDs up.
Got Drain.
He's dead, nice.
If I had to go back to this particular bit of the game here, you'll notice I'm positioning myself between my healer and their healer. This means that when my team pull back a bit and their DPS push in, I'm then stood between their DPS and their healer, as I am right now. Their DPS on my right side and their healer on my left. Now what this does is it allows me to constantly get CC on their healer whenever their DPS push out, or whenever I want basically, because I'm being left alone and they can't really interrupt me because I'm in too good of a position for them to pull back because they're quite far in, and if they pull back that far they're going to have to go on me and they're just going to lose any offensive pressure they had anyway. Now you'll notice that this position also means I can peel their DPS because I'm in range for fears on them as well, and so I can just constantly spam fears this entire game. Now in this last game it's going to be WLS against Thubcleave, and I'm going to show you kind of how I choose to use my fears rather than just spamming them and using them when it's not really necessary, although that might happen maybe once or twice. Now I get sapped in the opener from the mass stealth and they get a triple fear on our team as they open onto our Shaman. I'll worry get puts a safeguard on him and he's going to be alright. Now that I've come out of this fear, I know I need to get some pressure going, so I get dots on the Hunter, but I also need to relieve some pressure, so I put a fear onto the Hunter while my warrior storm bolts the rogue. We then choose to hit the rogue, and I'm just going to get dots on everything just so that everything rots a little bit and we can choose what we want to hit in a bit later. Now rogue looks like a good target, so I'm going to Dark Soul and go for fear on the priest. My Shaman calls that he's going to hex, so I don't bother, and we instead swap to the Hunter. Now Hunters are always a good target, and going on them while their rogue's not on me will let us get a lot of pressure out because I'll be able to control as much as I want. Now that rogue uses smoke bomb, so I move into it to fear the rogue during his cooldowns, just because that's when he's going to be going for most damage. Now that we've kind of recovered from that pressure and we know there's no smoke bomb available, I'm going to want to start looking to get the CC on the priest. So I'm going to put him into a blanket silence, which forces the hunters to Terrence. Now I'm able to get a fear on him. When I do call it, I'm going to fear his trinket. And he trinket's late, but I just keep spamming fear onto him because I know he has to trinket, and so I get that fear on his trinket again. Again, like I said, it's very easy to predict if you know they have to trinket. I then put a fear onto the hunter just to stop them gaining any pressure, and they put a blind onto our shaman, so I fear the rogue, and then my warrior gets a triple shockwave on the hunter, rogue, and pet. Now that we've got a lot of pressure, we force the rogue's cloak. I'm going to call to go back on the hunter, and I move to my shaman just so that I can take a trap if I need to, and it's again just meaning they can't put out as much control as they want to, and it lets me put out more. Now I put a half fear onto the rogue as he goes for a scatter trap. I eat the trap, and then I'm bound well out of it, just because it means my shaman doesn't need to do as much, and I'm again taking more control of the game. I then land a full fear on the priest, and we're hitting the hunter, and then my warrior calls for a swap to the rogue who's just been put into hex, and so I realise that's a really good target, but I'm going to keep putting pressure onto the hunter. I get silent shotted as we go to swap to the rogue, and the rogue's going to die while the priest was in a full lockout on his penance, and the hunter was at about 10% as well. So really, with my CC that game, we were able to just dominate the game, while my warrior and my dots do most of the damage. Now, Affliction obviously doesn't do the most damage, and this playstyle works a lot better in like Kata style Warlock, but it's still viable now if you can have a partner who does all the most of the damage for you. I mean, you still do quite a bit, especially during Dark Soul, but it's really useful to do that and just control the game for pretty much the entire thing, just because you stop them from gaining any pressure, and it doesn't really matter how much damage you do if you CC for long enough. And I'm going to play that game with Skype, and then that'll be the end of the video. So thanks for watching. If you found this useful, just let me know, and if you want to see more guides like this in the future, just leave a comment below. Thanks.
Power shot soon.
As soon as Rogue comes out, I'm going to stun him. Nice fear, nice fear, nice fear.
Fearing Hunter again.
Stunning Rogue.
Nice.
Rooting him here as well.
I'm actually just going to Dark Soul.
Rogue.
Okay.
Rogue.
Rouge.
Hitting the
Go
Rouge.
for the Rouge.
Shockwave me Hunter because he's just running
Fearing
again.
Priest.
Collect some priest.
Oh fuck.
I'm going to
Okay,
go Hunter
okay.
because look where he's standing, man. And he
Hunter's so good actually.
Nice.
dancing on me.
Fearing Rogue.
I'm just going to fear the Rogue and run out. He's pissed. Let's go,
He's
let's
really
go.
pissed.
Shockwaving. Oh no, sorry, I don't have Shockwave. I'm going to stun him with Stormbolt. Popping shit.
Blanket Priest. Deter.
Deter. Hitting Rogue.
Fearing Priest.
Rogue's
Fearing
actually
Priest
getting
Trinket. Priest not Trinket. There it is. Feared Trinket now.
Scared.
Oh sorry, I can't eat that.
Can't get it because I didn't have anything. Yeah, I don't like that.
Fearing Hunter, just heal for a sec.
Rooting both.
I'm gonna fear Rogue now.
Okay. Let's go hard on
Blinded.
Hunter. I have Shockwave.
Can you go Rogue?
Yeah,
Lock
yeah,
Priest
let's
on
go. Rogue.
cast.
He's got Comma and stuff, but I can get behind him.
He cloaked, it's fine. Just go back Hunter. Scatter Trap coming soon. Maybe.
I'm in trouble here. I'm at wall.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I trinketed that cheap. That was probably a bad idea. But he
Fear
doesn't
Rogue
have
half.
It's okay.
Got it.
Willing it.
I got it. Simon Rogue.
Fearing Priest, it's gonna be full.
Hard on Hunter. Let's get. I can get
Priest
a
full
Shockwave.
fit. Yeah.
Shockwave his thing. I'm gonna stun the Rogue off this hex.
Lock Priest on cast.
Rogue is good. Go Rogue. Seriously, go Rogue.
Okay, getting dots on him. I'm silenced. It's all you.
Okay,
All you.
He's at shot. He's dancing on me, but he's on 1%. Almost 1%. Literally 1%. Yeah, dead. Nice.
Yeah, Priest couldn't do anything.
That was nice.